Julius Caesar, John Lennon, Abraham Lincoln. Some of the most famous figures in all of history. And why? They all got whacked. Yet, deep in the annals of history lie two equally great thinkers who, spoiler alert, suffered a similar fate, yet the odds are you've never heard of them. Gaius and Tiberius Gracchus were born in 154 and 163 BC, to Tiberius Gracchus, an ex-consul, which, for Roman times, was basically like being half the president's son. Their mother was Cornelia, one of the daughters of Scipio Africanus, who was mainly known for absolutely dunking on Elephant Man Hannibal. The conditions in Rome during the time of the Gracchi were complicated. But, long story short, while the aristocratic fat cats in Rome thrived, farmers were being put under pressure by overpopulation and land fragmentation, and were therefore being forced to sell their land and turn to wage labor. Meanwhile, Nepo babies Tiberius and Gaius had grown into Nepo men, and they were ready to make a difference. During the Third Punic War, also known as the Third Dunking on Carthage, Tiberius had become a legate, a high-ranking general in the Roman army. According to Plutarch, who is by historians regarded as just a little less credible than your TikTok feed, so take this with a bucket of salt, Tiberius was strolling through Spain on the way back from a campaign, when he noticed a severe lack of family farms. Most of that farmland had been bought up by those cats from a few frames earlier. Remember? Tiberius saw this as a problem. Now, while I'd love to pretend like Tiberius just wanted everybody to get along, share the land, eat a dormouse, and play a game of ludus dor dicem scriborum, that's probably not what he was out for. You see, back in the days of the Roman Republic, army conscripts were made to pay for their own materials, their own shields, their own swords, their own outfits. To root out those who wouldn't be able to pay, the Senate decided only those who owned land would be able to serve in the army. Tiberius probably realized that Rome's military dominance couldn't be maintained if the entire army was built out of fat land-hoarding senators. So, to combat this, Tiberius thought up a new law. He decided that any one person shouldn't be allowed to own more than 500 jugera, which, in freedom units, is about a half square mile. Why didn't he just propose to get the other law changed about the land ownership? Who knows? Maybe Tiberius was a comrade after all. Usually, to have a law passed in Rome, you'd have to go through the extremely non-democratic and corrupt Senate, which, in this case, would be at a direct disadvantage of the law passing, as a lot of those fat cats were senators. But Tiberius had a trick up his sleeve. I'm gonna let this sit here for a second. I spent like an hour drawing this. Like 5 references in there. Subscribe, damn it. Anyway, Tiberius, Senate, loophole. The Roman government was complicated. But really all that's important to know is that you had the Senate, which was run by a bunch of corrupt fat guys, which had a ton of power. And you had the tribune, which is the only place where commoners, the normal person, the everyman, not women, had any power. Think of the tribune as somewhere between a congressman and a professional middle finger to the Senate. They can summon the Senate, they can propose bills, but most importantly, they can veto. Veto in Latin literally means I forbid, and you guessed it, gives you the ability to forbid anything. Obviously, the Senate was like a cat on hot bricks about Tiberius' newfound power. So, they elected one Marcus Octavius to oppose him and to veto anything he proposed. Democracy. I would like to bring equality among the Roman people and divide up the land so that... Veto. I would like to use state money to fund under... Veto. I would like to give Marcus Octavius a 200% raise. Veto. Now, while the Senate liked him, as you might have guessed, the public didn't really consider Marcus the cat's pajamas. So, when he literally just removed Marcus from the tribune, which he could do, I guess, there was nothing to stop evil old Tiberius from bringing equality to Rome. So, Senate, did you guys check out that land reform bill I sent you yet? Oh, hi, Tiberius. No, we were looking into it. It's just, it's kind of like, right now we don't have enough, it's kind of like with the funds and stuff. Hello, this is Tiberius speaking. Oh, that's real interesting. That's real interesting. Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, thank you. Oh, did you look at that? Some king died. Real tragedy. Left his whole fortune to the Roman Empire. Surely there's enough money now. Well, hey, look over there, social reform. And Tiberius did look, but there was no social reform. The Senate used their last Uno reverse card and beat him to death with their chairs, and then threw him into the Tiber, forever ending their game of cat and mouse.
Brutality. Flawless victory.
So, why does this matter? Hundreds of people throughout history have been killed for thinking a little too outside of the box. So why should we care about Tiberius Gracchus? Tiberius Gracchus was one of the first people to challenge the notion that Rome, and by extension the world, existed solely for the rich. Whatever his motives may have been, Tiberius Gracchus's ideology ripples forth towards this day, and just because of that, he deserves to be remembered. Maybe, if history had worked out just a little differently, it would be him on your barista's t-shirt, and not Che Guevara. But, I guess in the end, curiosity does kill the cat, and Tiberius was nothing more than a memory. The Senate went to bed, and lived happily ever after.